This brings
So now
us
I think
to my
to
question.
your
And of
question.
course, it involves dragons then. But hold on.
Oh,
It's
for fuck's sake.
cultural story. Question. Okay, very quickly. Okay, you have to first listen to like two or three stereotypes, right? One is that, English, especially compared to Canadian. So this is the Canadian dragons, then this is English dragons, then, right? English shows and perhaps English way
Okay.
of speaking and culture, typically one stereotype is, and some shows like that, that it's much harsher. Like for instance, like typically not harsher, but yeah, the stuff that they say is meaner, let's say, for instance. Like the famous show, oh my God, the quiz
American
show,
X
Biggest
Factor.
Loser. No, quiz show. You're the what's it called? That lady with the short hair? Oh my God, forgot about it.
Oh,
Weakest
weak,
Link. Weakest
weakest
Link,
link.
right?
That was
Weakest Link, right? She was
yeah.
like, I mean, she was extreme, right? But
That's
for instance,
no.
if you
Okay.
compared Top Gear the way it was in the UK and the way they were like, more straightforward and the way they would insult things, compared to when they made an American version and it was like this like PG, I don't know what, like kids version.
Yeah.
Dragons Den, surprisingly, they're particularly nice for business kind of people in the British version, especially business kind of people. Sure, every now and then one of them throws a fit, but it's a show. On the other hand, the Canadian one, they're the meanest
They're assholes?
assholes
Really?
ever. I
Worse
mean,
than
he's
American?
famous. I was gonna say the American ones get like that too. He's famous for being like that. People thought he was gonna be the next Trump, but they're all like so mean. He interrupts the pitches. But them, if somebody's like, not like presenting well, they're like, calm down. We know it can be hard. Like every now and then, don't get me wrong. But for English show, it's so not like that. Whereas this is. So I want to ask you
Well,
if there's any way you can explain this. One
sadly,
last thing
sadly.
though, that's funny but not related.
Yeah, yeah.
In the English show, they're
Sure,
always
sure.
dealing with like 50,000 pounds, 60,000 pounds. In the Canadian
Oh
one, they
yeah,
come
yeah.
on like
It's
we're
no
asking for
amount.
300,000. And in the American one, it's always like, we're asking for
Millions
$9 million.
of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the English one is always like humble,
that's
it's like a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
25,000 pound,
So
especially the
you
older ones.
spot me. You could spot my taxi.
Spot.
I could actually fund this whole thing on my own.
But yeah,
No,
anyway,
the
you can
British.
explain why the
Yeah,
stereotypical Canadian nice.
I can.
Oh, I knew it. You somehow, for some
I,
reason, you
I
have
always,
answers in these
I have
areas.
a theory. I have a theory. I have a theory. This is a theory
Look
I
forward to
developed.
hear.
Look, British
Oh, so
culture used to be the most.
okay,
Sorry,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry, sorry. No, no, go ahead.
First of all, go. Just zoom here before I go into my theory. Let's just sink in that Britain is the only country that this bunch of fucking ugly ass people can get on TV. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. At least the Canadian ones
Yeah,
like
no, this
look like
guy's like a
normal
pretty
humans.
boy.
Like, yeah,
But I mean,
yeah,
I don't
the
know about the
lady
rest.
looks no, all
Yeah.
of them look like normal, man. All of them except the guy you said who's Trump like,
Kevin
except
O'Leary.
him. Go back to the
He
British
tries to
one.
be
Go
like
back to the
Trump. Otherwise,
British
he's
one.
nothing like him, really. Uh, or people
Okay,
think.
go back
Anyway.
to the
Yeah.
British one though. You have one fucking troll over there who's like 3 meters tall. Then
No,
a fucking
no.
whatever
Hey,
bug monster she is. She's a bug monster of some kind
that's
from a
Peter Jones.
marshland. Then that bald, what?
Tuca.
It's
Hey,
just
show some respect to
they're all
Tuca.
monsters. Tuca is a monster. Seriously, they're scary. Like, I swear to God, you go to bazaar in Iran, you don't see this. You know, like this is off. I can't believe they're on TV. But okay, the why the I agree with the thing is, I feel like Britain, man, in 90s and like knots and maybe late knots, as you are aware, I was very fan of British culture, and it was, I believe, the most superior culture of the,
Hmm.
land, Earth. Sadly, increasingly, British television has become infiltrated with
Hmm.
these Americanized, sort of sweet, nicey people. I don't know if you're aware of this TV show. Maybe your wife has seen it. It's very popular, British Bake Off,
Okay.
where they it's a
Maybe I've
competition. They
seen it.
bake cakes,
Hmm.
and it's because it's ridiculous, man. They help each other. They support each other. Like if somebody's missing an item, they help them. Like the actual help. They help with the ideas, and then the host is like, the judges are very helpful. And whenever they're kicking somebody out, they're all crying, and everybody hugs
So not
and
like
all
Aaron
that. I
Ramsey,
feel
for
like British.
instance, who is British, who
No,
is
no, no,
like the
Gordon Ramsay,
quintessential
by the way, not
opposite. Sorry,
Aaron
Gordon
Ramsay. I don't know
Ramsay.
who the Aaron
Aaron
Ramsay is.
Ramsey is a Welsh former Arsenal player. Sorry.
His brother.
Gordon.
He's more violent, brother.
It's more violent. He's like little physics. But yeah,
Aaron.
Gordon Ramsay doesn't fit, is the exact opposite, right? I mean, I could have
Exactly,
picked
man.
him on
Suddenly,
a lot.
Google
But
British Bake Off,
also,
the
but
old
also
lady.
weakest link,
Google the
man.
Brit.
I
We
mean,
went.
her it was comical how fucking annoying
No, yeah,
like
you're right.
that she was.
She was so early on. I would say the weakest link was so early on. She was proto sort of British asshole. Sort of, she was
The first
before it became she was the first among the no, but Google seriously British Bake Off. I just want to know we went from Gordon Ramsay to the British Bake Off lady suddenly, and
Oh,
it's very sad, man. It's very sad.
interesting. But that's an
The
interesting
lady.
theory you have. So
No,
in
not
gen
this lady. Put old lady. Put British Bake Off old lady original.
but this is an interesting
Because
theory that you have, and it's kind of maybe working. I mean,
Americanization of
it doesn't explain why the Canadian one is particularly
here. Yeah.
harsh, although that I think there's a nice explanation
No,
for it.
I'll get to the
Yeah, no,
Canadian
that
one.
one's a
Wait,
pretty
let
nice
me. I have.
explanation, I think.
No,
Yes.
that's half of the story. So you got the British
Yeah.
who are being, who are sadly being infected with the North American niceness. And by the way, we discussed this before on one of our show. When we are talking about North American niceness, we are really talking about California. We discussed in Philadelphia and New York, people seem normal.
Hmm.
They are bitter. They're angry. They're, they would not say hi to you in an elevator
Yeah.
like normal. So now we get to the Canadian. So let's move on from these fucking freaks because
Hey, well, with
Jesus,
respect, put
my
some
eyes.
I'm really appreciating the way you're talking about the
Which one of
dragons.
them?
You're
Man,
in their den
every
right now,
one
eh?
of truly a dragon. Truly, they look like reptiles. I
Hey,
must say, like none of them
so
look even
no.
remote. I mean, the Indian black guy is a slightly, but his dress style, those pants. I'm sorry,
He's
but
an old
Jesus.
guy. Show
Now,
some respect.
now look at the Canadian one. I have not seen the Canadian one, but look at the sigil. Look at the logo over there, dragons. Then look at the way that motherfucker has his hands like that.
Because
Look at
English
the
shows they like to show
look at
how they're all like every single person is like working class. Like they're billionaires in a working
exactly. They
class.
are trying to
But
make
that
up for it. They are trying to be more American. They're trying to be more
is
plebby.
that
They are
though?
trying to be
Or is
more
that
working.
no? I
But
don't
the
know. I feel
Canadian,
like your theory here is
but
getting a bit shaky.
no, go to Canadian one, but that's the British one. They're trying to be down to earth and all that bullshit and nice, whatever. Canadian one, on the other hand, because they are from a land of no history and no,
No, I think the
backgrounds, no
Canadian
roots. They're
one.
a bunch of, they're basically a descendants of bunch of like, criminals and psychopaths and all that. So they're making up for it with they made up that big dragon sigil up there that looks like Game of Thrones or something. And one of them is like that. And the lady is like,
But
they're making up for their lack of sophistication. Novorish. That's what
I
they
would
are.
like
So,
to introduce another theory, though, that could explain the Canadian one also, which is also the narrative of entrepreneurship and how it's just so cruel and money, money, money. Like this guy would go around, that was his thing. He would go on CBC, the BBC of
no, that's
Canada,
America, though.
and
That's
into every
American.
answer he would be like, money, like how much will it make me? That's all I care about. So that is
Oh,
very
you mean that?
also
Oh, I see. I
widespread
see.
in Canada, that entrepreneurship. No, I mean that exact same business narrative, kind of the exact, and that exists
Yeah, you have
everywhere,
to be
but
a
that exact
shark,
so
man, and then shark eats the dolphin, and the dolphin does not eat. So be a shark. No, I agree. Okay,
So
that's
I
fair
think
enough.
that also
I did not
influences the
think of that.
Canadian one. But the Dragon's
No,
Den
no,
one's
I
very
sorry,
interesting.
sorry.
Sorry, can I add something though to your thing that the English one is gradually becoming more like this, and even early 2000s it was like this. The earlier versions are like season 2007 and 8. They're much harsher. There are a couple of them, and they're far harsher actually. They're
Oh
much
yeah.
more like that. And now it's like more and more just like
Oh man, in
uh,
Britain you see it everywhere, man. Everybody's becoming, even fucking Stephen Fry used to be one of the most sharpest like wits and sharpest sarcastic things, and he's becoming so sweet and it's
mm.
ridiculous. It's becoming ridiculous. And just
Interesting.
please move on from these fucking monsters. I
Eh,
can't
okay, now you're
really.
pissing me
My
off. I
eyes
enjoyed
really.
your answer first, but now you're really
No, come
starting
on,
to hurt
man.
my
This okay,
feelings.
wait. No, no.
Okay,
But first you said entrepreneurship. Wait, go to the Canadian people. Go to the
next time
Canadian.
we're bringing in Shark Tank. Oh, and look, the Canadian one even made it there.
Oh my, really? I guess it's this. Do aren't Canadians don't Canadians need visa to go to America?
No, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know for how
Oh,
long.
that's sad.
But
Yeah, that's a bit. Go to Canadians. No, go to Canadians before you go to these. Oh, they're so glossy. But I thought when you said entrepreneurship, who's the guy at the at my right hand, at the
this guy.
picture's left? Yeah. I thought you were talking about sort of this sort of, he looks like that sort of sweet guy that is in Silicon Valley that is like, yeah, actually our business is gonna be sustainable and
No, he's another kind of
no?
sweet old school guy in the sense that I just know about him too. His biggest business is that he owns the Boston pizza like chains in Canada. So he has like a big pizza chain
Oh,
and
he's
like
like,
car
what's his name?
washes.
999
So
guy
he's
who
old
died from
school
COVID.
and car washes. So he's
What
old
was,
school.
oh my God, he's exactly like I think the 999 guy had car washes as well. What was his name? Herman Cain, Herman
Yeah,
Cain.
Herman Cain.
Trump killed
He
him with
made his
COVID.
money in tech. He like
Oh,
apparently when he was I don't know, developed some kind of education software, and then since then he's all about money, money. And them I don't know.
oh my God. By the way, I just realized, man, the guy next to the lady, not the evil guy, the
Yeah.
other guy, is that Gabor Mate's other son? Is that Aaron Mate's older? He looks just like Gabor Mate younger, no?
That's
Zoom?
funny.
It's Aaron Mate's other brother. It's his evil twin or something with better hair.
But okay, nice job. I appreciate your response was your theory was pretty no, your
My theory
theory
was
was
no,
pretty decent
seriously.
really. I feel
I
like at
genuinely
one
think my
part
theory is
you started adding extra I would have stopped with
the
the
Canadian part. The Canadian part about them like being insecure about their background, I'm not sure, but the British part about them becoming
No, that was
nicer, I'm
good.
sure, man. Simon Cowell used to be much harsher. Nowadays,
Yeah,
Simon
very
Cowell
good.
is doing like, oh, I'm gonna be supportive of you. I'm gonna mentor you.
There we go. We did a sociological study to wrap up this show pretty much.